Oh yes, and Aussies. We like a bit of Aussies. We've had a couple of good success rates with them. What am I talking about? I'll tell you next. That's right, folks, back once again with another video. Today we're taking a look at the latest name linked with Rovers. He's a midfielder and he comes from down under. That's right, and we'll get into him in just 1 second. If you're new, where you been? Smash your subscribe. You want some show for Blackburn Rovers, transfer rumours. Whoa, football. We're going to all here under one Ruski. That's right. Nectarios Triantis. That's right. Is an Aussie of Greek descent. Could be coming to Blackburn Rovers. What am I talking about? Well, I'll tell you in a second. Big shout out to the members and the patrons. You know who you are. But anyway, let's get into it and talk about this latest link. And here he is, of course, currently on the books of Sunderland. Played his football last season north of the border for Hibs. He's 22 years of age. And he's actually not that bad. I did give him a hard time when we were linked. Times a little bit. And he is seen as an addition to Rovers, not as a backup, because we did side City Tavares, and people thought that's it, our midfield is done and dusted. But no, I think we're still looking for additions to that to the team here, with the likes of John Buckley possibly leaving. But anyway, who is he? We'll take a deep dive in a minute. But before that, I'm going to hand you over to Eddie.
Ewan Eddie here with some news on our brand new scheme we're looking to implement in the 2025-2026 campaign. What is it? Well, it's affordable away day travel. That's right, us at Blackburn Roverseas hope to implement this brand new scheme for each and every one of the away days taking place in the upcoming campaign. Right now, we're just in the planning stages, and we want to know if you are interested in away day travel for the upcoming season. Now, what I need you to do now is, of course, go to this link on the screen right about now. It's a QR code, or maybe drop down in the old description to follow the URL and fill out your name and, of course, maybe some contact information that we can reach out to you when we are 100% committed. Just a reminder that this is just the planning stage of this service. Nothing is 100% as of yet. But the more numbers and the names that we get down in the next few weeks, then, of course, then we'll have the ability to make this happen for you guys. Again, looking at what's available at the moment, this does look like an affordable option if we can get the support from you guys. And again, it's just a fantastic way for you to support the channel in another way. Back to you, Dirk.
All right, thanks again, Eddie. Let's take a look at him, of course, rocking the old green and white of Hibs. That's my Scottish club right there. Happy to have him. But, of course, he back in the books at Sunderland. That's right. And, of course, they are now in the Premier League. Don't get me wrong. I think if they were in the Championship this time around, this season, he'd be getting game time for Sunderland. But I just think they've moved the goalposts in regards to talent. And, of course, I just don't think he's going to fit in right there. His contract does expire 2027, so a couple of years left. Realistically, of course, it'll be this time next season when you would expect Sunderland to be relegated back down to the Championship. And then maybe, you know, where does it go for him? He could play his time, he'd play his football then. But basically, he's going to be a year in limbo, whether he makes a move now on a loan or whether he makes a move now on a permanent. It's, of course, up to him. But he is a bit of a maverick in the central centre park there. He could play as centre back, defensive midfield, and he can also play as a box to box kind of midfielder. So he's a very versatile kind of man. 22 years of age as well. Will be 23 this year. 191 centimeters tall. You can play for Australia. I think he might even been called up for Australia, but not got a cap yet. But he'll also play for Greece if he wants to go there. He's right-footed, big boss man. I was a little bit of a turd in regards to when this news came out that we potentially linked with him, and it's only linked as of right now anyway. It was when we were linked with Brian de Kersmacher, the Belgian, and I so wanted that to happen because I felt he was going to be a real, a true quality pickup. Brian de Kersmacher, whatever, the Belgian, who subsequently went to Oxford. I think this guy would be a nice addition to the club. I do think he has a little bit of Lewis Travis and a bit of no nonsense, bit of bullshit in him, and he's very young. And of course, if we can get him, I think we can get that sort of vibe back with the Australians of yesteryear. I'm talking about the Brett Emertons of the world. I'm talking about the Robbie Slaters of the world. I'm talking about, who else did we play with? Vince Grella, not so much, of course. Injury bound. Lucas Neal, not so much. A bit of a turd head. Remember those days. Anyway, let's take a look at this guy then. Let's take a look at his pedigree. Now, this is, of course, his stats and his attributes and his heat map from his time up at Hibs, Easter Road. That's right, played 34 times, started 34 games, chipped in with 3 goals from that midfield slot. The goals coming 2 with his head, 1 with his right foot as well. Chipped in with 6 assists from that midfield spot. Chipping in with 8 yellows and a red card as well, so no nonsense sort of attitude. His passes was 74% success rate, 85% success rate in his own half. And aerial duels, 52% won with his noggin, and 57% won with down on the ground. Now you got to remember that, of course, this Hibs side last year were phenomenal at the back end of the season under David Gray. They came in and they finished third, and they were unbeaten for a long part. And I would say this fella here is a key component in that success. Now, of course, where has he played over the course of his time? He's only played for Sunderland just 5 times. He played for the under-21s a few times, but he's made his name for himself down under with an appearance for Western Sydney and the Central Coast. Hibs, of course, gobbled him up last season on a loan, chipping in with 50 games, 3 goals and 6 assists. Of course, he's played in a few games or been on the books at least. Scottish top flight there, the A-League, blah, 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 blah. Again, his time has actually been split between centre-back and defensive midfield. So he is right-footed, so he doesn't feel that void of left-footed centre-back. Yeah, it's interesting, actually. I thought he would play more in that central midfield slot. But he looks like a defensive kind of no-nonsense kind of guy. Like I said, he has represented Australia in a few levels, under-20s, under-23s, and, of course, called up to the Australian squad, but yet to get into the action just yet. I think it's just a matter of time before he does that, unless Greece comes calling. Let's take a look at him and compare him under the microscope to that of Lewis Travis. It does say his main position is defensive midfield, and that's the same to that of Travis. Travis, of course, can play right back as well. He has done there a few times as well. But this is what I'm thinking. You know, contract expires Lewis Travis 2026, just like a Callum Britton, possibly even just like a Sondre Tronstad, I think. Just spat a bunch of saliva there. But he's got to sign. Travis has to sign a new deal, otherwise we have to sell him. It is what it is. The Tavares guy, I think, is more of an attacking kind of midfielder to that of a defensive one. And I think we're going to lose one of them. Honestly, if I'm a betting man, I would bet we'll either lose Lewis Travis or Sondre Tronstad. So Tavares comes in to be the next, probably the partner in crime to whoever's left. And then we still kind of need backup. And there's Nectarios Triantis would fit the void. And I think he would come in. And actually, I think he could do very, very well. The price is right. It's not too shabby, $1 million. We might even be able to drive that down as well. Hopefully for Travis, we got to get close to that money, even though the contract is ticking time on. Once the transfer window slam shuts in August, if he's still here, we're gonna have to, I don't know, it's gonna be grim stuff. He's not in a tribunal sort of standard. It'll be going for nothing as well. Let's take a look at the numbers then again. He scored, he does score more goals than Travis has done. Travis has only scored 8 goals in his career, whereas this guy scored 4 at such a young age, picking up a goal every 1,700 minutes compared to Travis, a goal every 3,000 minutes. So already we're up in the ante in regards to the goals scored. But ultimately, we need some bodies. We need to take a gamble on some of these guys, and it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. Everyone wants these experienced pros, and I'm like that as well. I see, your John Swifts of the world and all this kind of stuff out there, but they're going to be asking for a lot of money. We're trying to get some players that could be good, and no, we've not really seen the true benefits of that. We bought, what's his name, that German striker who went on to whatever his name was. I can't remember him. My mind's gone blank. Not too long ago, a couple seasons ago, Wildstadts as well. Take a punt on these young guys and thinking that we might find a gem, and ultimately they haven't really worked out. And this guy could be that. He could actually be a dud, or he could actually be great. But what I can say is there was a time, there was a season under Tony Murray, we were linked with a defensive midfielder of Hibernian, and his name goes by John McGinn. And guess what happened to him? He became an absolute phenomenal player for Aston Villa in the Championship, and then kicked on in the Premier League. And now he's getting on a little bit now, but still, and that was a Hibernian side that wasn't as good as this previous Hibernian side. So I think I think this guy is a bit of a gem. I think this could be a masterstroke if it was to progress. Right now, again, it's just a murmur. It's just a mumbling. But I'd love to see us revisit this if you know, it is still maybe a week or so old, and if so, get it reignited. What do you think, Eddie? Eddie, I'm going to chuck it over to you before we wrap this sucker up.
Hey, with Eddie back once again, but this time I don't want your money. No, I want your name, your voice, your Rovers memories. That's right. We started a social media project over on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, showcasing 150 Blackburn Rovers memories. I've asked fans from around the globe to drop their Rovers memories, but of course I need more of them. That's right. 150 is a big number, and we need some more, and that's where you come in. That's right. Whether it's the best player, best goal, best shirt, best moment in regards to Blackburn Rovers, I want to hear about it. So if you want to do that, again, follow that link. There is also one down in the description, and drop it in there. Of course, that memory will be featured over on Twitter on a day of its own, and then of course together in a master video when we drop it on November the 5th to celebrate Blackburn Rovers 150th anniversary. So please do me a favour and drop your Rovers memory. But anyway, once again, back to Dirk to wrap up the show.
Appreciate that, Eddie. Thanks again for your work behind the scenes, and of course keep it on going, and hopefully you guys are out there helping us out with our memories and of course some away day travel. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on that. And of course, Nectarios Triantis, will he be a Rovers player or will he not? We'll take a little look, of course, and of course any news will come back to you. Till then,